On Thursday, November 9th at 7 p.m., the African Student Organization, ASO, held an open forum titled, "Let's Talk About Race." Originally held to get feedback from the UIW student community about race relations on campus, was later changed. Let's find out why.
So basically, some student athletes on Halloween dressed up as some African American, I guess, characters in that sense. And, it wasn't the costume that offended a lot of people. Was the fact that they felt the need to paint their face to resemble the African American people that they were portraying. So, that brought a lot of backlash, and we tried our best to, talk to administration, see if something can be done and said about it, just to let other people know that this is not something that is acceptable, and this is not something that our, school stands for. And we didn't really hear anything from administration. We got a lot of backlash, so we decided, if they're not going to listen to us, we'll just take it to social media, and that is what we did.
Student to student, peer-to-peer interaction and dialogue is the most important. Oftentimes when these kinds of things happen, if it's a top-down approach, it's just not as effective. It really needs to be students and peers with each other wanting to work things out and come up with solutions and to create a better climate and environment for all. I'm actually very pleased to know that this is the response that a community like this has, which is let's get together and talk. That's a wonderful thing for me to learn about this community.
One of the things we want to hear is have healthy discussions. As an African American, I'm concerned about some of these things. And I think everybody in the administration is concerned. I have not spoken to an administrator who was not concerned. So we're all concerned about this, but we want to figure out how do we move forward? What are the next steps? How do we, maybe long-term programming, sensitivity training, those type of things. So there's some things that we want. But speaking to Dr. Evans, he wants to hear from the students. What do they want? So we're not here to dictate anything. We're here to listen.
I understand UIW wants to keep everything, under wraps, don't let the public find out and everything like that. But that's the whole problem. Because if nobody found out that this is wrong, then it's just going to happen again. Or something similar might happen again. Maybe something even worse. People are always like, oh, this is not that big an issue. And it's like, well, to you it might not be, but to us it is. This is our culture. This is, what we have to deal with. And if we're going to kill something now, let's do it now. That way it doesn't turn into something bigger. One time doesn't define your entire character. And I don't define these girls as racist. I just think what they did was wrong. They made a mistake. We're just trying to move on from it. We're trying to raise awareness so nobody else makes the same mistake.
Well, one of the things that we had talked about that the events that took place doesn't in no way, shape, form, or fashion enhance the human dignity of anybody on this campus. So we wanted to make sure that every student, every faculty, every administrator on this campus, regardless of your ethnic background, that you feel that you're treated with dignity. And so one of the reasons we're here to support this panel is that's what we want them to feel, that we're here to support them. And not nobody's trying to sweep this under the table. We're trying to bring this forth and figure out how to move on from here.
What's really important is as a community of learners that we get together and we figure out the way that we are going to interact and how that would make the most sense, hearing from students, getting student feedback, and from all different constituents to figure out what we're going to do moving forward, how we continue to educate. It's a learning community, so that process of learning should be continuous, and I think this is an important step, first step.
Be sure to visit UIWTV's YouTube channel to see the full version coming soon. This is Madison Aguiar for UIWTV News.